Hello everyone, this is Stephen Balch, instructor for Small Business Management at Ozarka College. Today what I'd like to do is give you just a little bit of feedback on the chapters 2 and 3 activities that I finished grading last week. And then I want to remind you about the semester project, the company name that you're going to use, and a brief description of your company that you're going to use as the basis of your project. That company name and description's due here pretty soon, so I need to tell you about that. And then also I'm going to tell you a little bit about Chapter 4, which is what we're going to be doing our next set of activities on. Okay? So the first thing is, like I said, I did finish grading the Chapters 2 and 3 activities last week. I believe they were due Tuesday of last week, and I finished grading those Wednesday of last week. So you should have already gone in and looked at your grades for those activities and read the grading comments. If you haven't done that yet, go ahead and do that as soon as you can, and let me know if you have any questions at all. Most of you did really well on the Chapters 2 and 3 activities, so keep up the good work on that. It's obvious that most of you are putting the time and effort in that's needed to do well on the activity, so keep up the good work on that. Now, I did notice on the assignment there were a couple of you that didn't answer some parts of the questions thoroughly and completely, so just make sure for future assignments, just make sure that you're answering each part of each question completely and thoroughly. All right. And also remember to be working on your semester project. In the last assignment that we did last week, that was the first assignment where you actually were starting to create a portion of your semester project. And it's going to continue on for Chapter 4. So make sure that you're working on that semester project, and you'll need to, if you haven't already done this, now some of you have already sent me your company name that you're going to use as the basis of your project and a brief description of that company and what it's going to sell and so forth. But some of you have not done that. In fact, most of you haven't done that yet. So you'll need to make sure you do that by February 12th, which is Thursday of this week. So you've just got a few more days to be working on that and sending me. You need to just go ahead and send me, like I said, the name of the company that you're going to use as the basis of your project, and then also a brief description of, what you're going to sell, what market you're going to sell in, that kind of thing. And just let me know if you have questions about that. I sent everybody a email a couple weeks ago that outlined exactly what you need to include in the information for for Thursday of this week, February 12th. So, like I said, if you haven't sent me that information yet, go ahead and do that by Thursday of this week. And then the other thing I need to remind you about is our next set of chapter activities. Some of you have already turned this in, but a lot of you haven't yet. And so just as a reminder, the Chapter 4 assignment and test, there is no discussion for Chapter 4. Just assignment and test, those are due by Saturday, February 14th. So you've got a few days to still be working on that. But basically what you're going to be doing with the Chapter 4 assignment is you're going to be asked to create a mission statement for your business that you're going to use as the basis of your project. And just make sure that when you're creating the mission statement, that you're really putting some thought into it, put some time and effort into it, because it's going to make it a whole lot easier later on when you go to create your semester project and submit that. If you have, the more time and effort that you put into these assignments where you're creating a portion of the business plan, the much easier it's going to be later on in the semester when you're trying to get your semester project compiled and get it ready to submit. Okay, so the first thing, like I said, is for Chapter 4 assignment is creating a mission statement for your business, and then the second item is going to be creating a customer analysis table. And so that's also going to be a very important part of your semester project. So, like I said, the more time and effort that you put into it now, the less work you'll have to do later on. Okay, so make sure you put the time in on the mission statement and the customer analysis table for the Chapter 4 assignment. Okay. Just make sure that they're complete and that they look professional. Okay, and the Chapter 4 activities are due again by Saturday, February 14th. Now, in Chapter 4, I kind of already went over what you're going to be doing on the assignment, but what Chapter 4 covers is basically markets, marketing research, marketing segmentation, which is basically ways that we can divide the market into individual segments that we can then target with unique marketing mixes. And that's what most of you are going to need to do. Most of you are going to have more than one market segment that you're trying to target, and you're going to have to develop a marketing mix for each one of those segments. Okay, so you're going to learn about market segmentation. Also, something else that's very important with when learning how to market your product is the product life cycle. It's important to understand where the product that you're producing or selling, where that is in the overall cycle of that particular product, the life cycle. And then also towards the end of Chapter 4, you'll learn about something else that's also very important in marketing a small business, and that is market positioning. Trying to get to a particular point in the market, particular area of the market. Okay, so those are the things that you'll be learning about in Chapter 4. So, like I said, let me know if you have any questions as you're working on the Chapter 4 activities, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have. Other than that, I will talk to you next time. Thank you.